Okay. October 30th, 2024, folks, we have a full market update, current events, financial markets, the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. We will be talking about XRP, of course. What are we going to do in this moment in time? A situation where we're watching a lot get exposed, a lot of good things happening, a market that's pumping, Bitcoin pushing up towards a new all-time high. It's looking good, but I'm going to explain why I am staying hedged while I still am so bullish on this space over the next year. I'm bullish on our metals, which are already setting new all-time highs for gold, silver back up to $35, and we're going to take a look at these markets to get started. But as we fight a much bigger battle that's bigger than XRP, bigger than cryptocurrency, fighting for a level playing field, right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. That's all we ask for. And that's all we're fighting for. That's all we're voting for. I'll let you guys interpret that how you see fit as we approach here. What are we at? 5 days, 6 days till this election? It's getting spicy. And I just want to say, hey, I really do appreciate the energy, the support out there. It's been fantastic. I couldn't do it without you guys. The community continues to grow, remaining more strong than ever before. But I just want to say, through the thick and the thin, I know that the energy is getting very, very heavy out there, and especially in the XRP community, right? That's been a different story. But then on the broader, macro picture, what's taking place in the current events, I know folks are waiting for this election cycle to get over. The bad news, right, is that this election ain't going to be over come November 5th, by the looks of it, right? Already getting very, very interesting. We've been preparing for this moment. I think that, when I look at where have I been wrong, where can I poke holes in my thesis? Because I'm always willing to question myself, right? The one thing that I look at is that, yeah, we've been wrong about how high these markets have gone when I look at the stock market. But what's interesting to see and compare is that although, yeah, we were wrong about the stock market going up, I want to give credit to Michael Gayad. I heard him explain this so well. He says, for those that expressed their concern about the stock market by going short, they're getting wrecked, right? We didn't go short, but those who expressed their concerns about the market by going long gold, long metals, well, that's playing out very well. And that's exactly what our community has done. And then on the flip side of that, I'm going to explain in this video, right? When we do go to the risk on side of our portfolio, when we have to figure out how to beat inflation, right? Basically, this current environment is forcing everybody to be, speculators. Hopefully we're not being reckless speculators, but educated investors and speculators in these markets, even when it comes to the meme coin gambling, right? Hopefully we got a plan and a strategy and we're not getting dumped on. We'll talk about that more later in this episode as well. We want to find an opportunity. And for me, if we're going to go risk on, let's go crypto, right? I'm not looking to get 10%, 5% in the stock market. I'm not looking to do a 4%, right? The bonds are blowing up right now, really blowing up in front of the Federal Reserve and the Treasury. But do I want to do, the bond yields have risen, but are they attractive to me? Absolutely not. That one can pass me by. When I look at all of the investment opportunities that are running across the desk and I'm evaluating all of them and I see, oh, wow, now I can get 4.2% from the government for a 10-year bond. I think I'm going to pass on that deal, and that's a deal with the devil, and I don't do deals with the devil. And so I'm going to pass on even a 2-year, even a 3-month. The risk that we're seeing right now, and I'm going to start this episode by talking about the risk that we're seeing exposed in the Treasury market. We just got another basically quasi bailout announced again today. I'm going to show you guys that one, but then we're going to talk about the new report from the Treasury Department, which is acknowledging the role basically in tokenizing treasuries and how important that's going to be. And who's been doing that at the largest scale so far? Well, Tether. Why won't they take out Tether? Because it's essentially bailing out the Treasury and the Fed right now. That's what we're going to get started here. But real quick before we do, we're going to get into the markets. As I titled this episode tonight, Market Update with Q&A. I want to go through the full episode here, and then I do want to take some questions. I do want to catch the vibe from the community and see where everybody's at. And so once again, before I get started here, thank you so much for your support. I just want to remind everybody, if you're new here, make sure you have subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss these updates, when we're going live here at 10 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock on the West Coast, getting started here. We don't want you to miss the content. We're going to keep it coming. And over the course of the next year, I think that this is about to be one of the most volatile times in these markets. It's an opportunity for us to embrace and lean into. We don't want to get left behind. And that's what these updates are here to provide you guys, the analysis and the perspective on the current events, these financial markets, and where we can find the best opportunities. If you don't think it's XRP, that's fine. Feel free to drop that alpha in the comments down below, whether it's a meme coin, a stock, metals. Let us know what you're bullish on. Let us know what the alpha is in the comments down below. I want to get through my update and then get to your Q&A. Thank you for stopping by. I want to say cheers, everybody. Hope you got an adult beverage or something nice poured up for you. Let's get it started. TikTok comment, and this is what I love. Someone says, what conspiracy theories do we have today? Well, strap in. Grab your popcorn. The best part is how well we're getting paid for being conspiracy theorists, aren't we? Ain't that something? Hey, let's take a look at it right now. Starting off here, Bitcoin 72,800 back up right now. This is a Bitcoin, like I said, extending out here to an all-time high, getting me excited, getting many excited. You had to know that we weren't going to be blowing straight through that all-time high without getting some selling pressure coming in, which is what we're seeing right now. And a consolidation is taking place above 71,000. We did wick down to 71,300, but now we are at 72.2, right? 72,266 as I record this update. Ethereum back up here to about 2,700 yesterday. Right now we're at 2,649. So a little bit of liquidity starting to distribute to the rest of the altcoins. Bitcoin dominance had grown over the weekend to back up to about 60%. And then after the Bitcoin dominance cooled off, a little bit of liquidity got to move around. And so we saw XRP did break above 53 cents this weekend. Right now we're down to 52 cents. And, these opportunities are coming really quickly and then they're going, right? We went down to 48 cents last Friday. That was a quick one. And this is part of the reason why I'm still keeping some liquidity next to me, a little bit of cash on the sidelines, is because these assets, as they, already are sitting at some pretty attractive prices for me. And what I think that they're going to do this bull run, these entry points that we're at right now are fine, right? They're beat the heck out of stocks, beat the heck out of bonds. But, I always do want to be ready to scoop up these dips, these corrections that are coming in. I don't think that we're set to blast off, really in a way that I'm going to miss the train, right? And so, once again, some of these cryptocurrencies, I'll show you, they're getting down to some levels that, interest me. They pique my interest. One of these tokens is Say. I've already traded out of this one once, took profits, made about 30% gains on this move. And this was a token that we saw. It had real utility. It had a community powered by memes. And so a little bit of memes, a little bit of utility goes a long way. I traded out of this sucker when it was above $1. Here it comes back down to 25 cents. At this current moment, it's at 39 cents. Like I said, we're getting down to some attractive prices on some of these coins. I've been really actually taking a look at Flare 2, one that's down to 1.5 cents. Been trading below 1.5 cents for the past couple months. And we did get a wick down here to 1.3, right? So are we going to get a chance to buy 1 cent Flare again? That is the one that I'd like to scoop up. But even at these levels, it looks, like an opportunity. Dogecoin, I know a lot of people have been asking me about the OG memes. I think that they do run. It's just a matter of, how much liquidity are these OG memes going to eat up? I do think that they will give us a return. But I'm not aping into Dogecoin at this time when I have an opportunity to roll into XRP meme coins, which really, just exploded over the past week and a half. One coin that's obviously garnished a lot of attention out of nowhere is this SUI token, SUI. I've passed up on the opportunity when it was at about $1.20. This coin back above $2 right now. It just did peak out at about $2.36. I hesitate on these coins that come out of nowhere. They're backed by VCs and big money. It's like getting in late on the meme coin, right? You're starting to question. You're starting to see all the influencers are pumping it up, right? Is that one that you want to buy into? I've been seeing a lot of people pumping up SUI. The story looks interesting. Like I said, a lot of these coins, they get powered by some utility. some of a story. How much of that story is going to come to fruition doesn't even necessarily matter when we're in the middle of a bull run and we just start to see these coins pump out of nowhere. Narratives can lead them. And I do think that we will see speculation present in this bull run once again, which is why I said that you're going to get a performance out of some of these coins. Another coin that I've been actually taking a look at too, I did buy a very, very, very small amount of Bitcoin Cash, $373. This is a coin that I bought down. It was at like 320, 325. I just read the book by Roger Ver. And actually, of course, I listened to it. I mostly have been listening to books over the past few years. So I listened to the audiobook Roger Ver on Bitcoin Cash. Interesting story. And I think that it will perform well once again this bull run. And I'm looking at a lot of these coins not on breaking all-time highs, on just returning to their all-time high. If a coin has 5, 10x opportunity to just get near its all-time high, these are coins that are piquing my interest right now. Something else that's been piquing our interest has absolutely been the precious metals. Right now, we got an opportunity to buy silver back below $34 per ounce. Your premium is probably still going to bring you above $34 per ounce, depending on who you're working with. And we got some affiliates linked up down below, also at my website, zachrector.com, for rolling over a 401k retirement account, or we can get it shipped directly to your door. And my good friend Andy Sheckman, he has some of the best prices in the industry, combined with some of the best service. And so I do appreciate that opportunity to provide that resource for the community. And it's been one that's been nice to see, although I don't own any gold myself, to just watch gold go smash new all-time highs again, seemingly day after day. And I'm going to play a couple clips here shortly that explain that we might actually be in the early innings of this run up in gold too. We might still have a long ways to go. We know that Jim Rickards, he's talking about a $15,000 per ounce gold by next year. In 2025, hitting a $15,000 per ounce gold. When I interviewed legendary investor Rick Rule, what did he have to say? He's scared, right? He's scared of gold going to $9,000 per ounce because he knows what that means for the world around us. And that's surely how it's felt lately, right? We're pretty confident, right? Our thesis is strong in our investments. We're pretty happy with the returns that we've had so far, and we know that we still got quite a bit. But we see the world around us is basically going to hell in a handbasket, and we're praying that we survive it. That's what we're up against right now. Let's get into it. This is Finance Lot summarizing the situation at hand. They've been planning what's about to happen, and it's all going to happen at once. First off, constitutional crisis triggering Treasury market panic. And we really are starting to see this play out right now. Treasury market panic will cause yields and dollar to skyrocket. We've seen the dollar has actually been performing pretty well here recently, right? And then finally, skyrocketing yields and dollar causing bank failures and global debt defaults. So the Fed came in and they cut by 50 basis points, and the bond yield has grown by just as much, right? Essentially, the bond yields have risen because the bond market has been selling off a market that, remains incredibly resilient considering the circumstances. Now, when you look at this problem that the Treasury has, they were set to issue 10 trillion in bonds this year. The problem is that the foreign buyers are no longer showing up at the pace that they once were. Now, there are still buyers. There's still a lot of buyers here in the United States. And I'm going to talk about that next, about the Tethers and the Circles and soon to be the Ripple stablecoin that's helping to bail out our Treasury. But in the meantime, the Treasury's bailing themselves out, which is a nice little, it's nice to have that ability, being the Federal Reserve in combination with the Treasury Department, right? We expect to buy up to 30 billion in off-the-run securities for liquidity support. They can't find buyers, right? These are auctions that continue to push yields up higher because they're hosting these auctions, and we're seeing that there's just a lack of buyers one after another at all these auctions that are taking place. It's causing the yields to run up. Folks are selling off right now. At the same time, the U.S. Treasury, along with Congress, along with the likes of Maxine Waters, saying that we need to do a grand new bargain on stablecoin, right? We need to get stablecoin legislation passed when Maxine Water is finally trying to, come around and get it. And the US Treasury is finally starting to come around and get it. Sounds to me like a perfect opportunity for Ripple stablecoin to launch while we're seeing Tether is struggling to come into compliance with MiCA. We'll see if they can come into compliance with the US. Will we ever see their reserves? Who knows? But this is where I've said that the Ripple stablecoin, along with the company Ripple, they're having the competitive advantage in this space. Right now, we're watching these stablecoins bail out the Treasury. This new Treasury report shares a report here on digital assets in the Treasury market. Crypto has become too big to ignore. Now take a look here at the key bullet points. The key potential benefits of tokenizing US Treasuries are the following. Improvements in clearing and settlement. Tokenized Treasuries allow for more streamlined atomic settlement, where all parts of a transaction involving Treasuries settle simultaneously across all parties, reducing the risk of settlement failure. Improved collateral management. Smart contracts programmed directly into the tokenized Treasury allow for more efficient collateral management, including pre-programmed collateral transfers once preset conditions are met. Improved transparency and accountability. Immutable ledgers could allow for greater transparency in Treasury market operations, reducing opacity and providing regulators, issuers, and investors with more real-time insight and trading activities. Composability and innovation. The ability to bundle different tokenized assets could lead to the creation of new and highly customizable financial products and services based on U.S. Treasury securities, such as derivatives and structured products. We talked about derivatives yesterday. We talked about how XRP Ripple tested it out, provided a proof of concept in the cross-border payments utility use case, and now we're getting ready for all the money. Now we're getting ready for the derivatives. Now we're getting ready, and we did get the digital ID, the decentralized ID. That amendment did pass for the XRP ledger today. It is now live. Decentralized identity helping to bring KYC, helping to bring, basically the ability to identify credentials on chain in a decentralized way. Absolutely critical for infrastructure that you're going to provide for institutions and banks. Increased inclusion and demand. Tokenization can make treasuries more accessible to a wider range of investors, including smaller retail investors through fractionalization and those in emerging markets. What would also be nice, they should make a point about this, is if Gary Gensler wouldn't raise, and the SEC wouldn't raise the accreditation standards for, accredited investors being able to take advantage of some of the best opportunities. Gary Gensler and the SEC want to take that to $10 million to be an accredited investor versus the standard right now, which is $1 million, right? $1 million in net worth or $200,000 in income for the past 2 years if you're an individual, filed on your taxes as an individual, or if you and your partner file jointly, you need $300,000 in income for the past 2 years to meet the qualifications for an accredited investor that can partake in private equity opportunities, right? So they talk about this for bonds. Well, how about providing some opportunities for retail to get, it's a little bit of exposure to private equity. That would sure be nice as well. Increased liquidity, which is what the main problem is right now. We are in the middle of a liquidity crisis. They can't find liquidity. They can't find exit liquidity. A treasury that wants to issue 10 trillion in bonds this year, good luck, God bless. That ain't happening unless you show up and bail out yourself, which is exactly what they're doing right now. And you better do a grand new bargain with Maxine Waters for stablecoin legislation so we can get more stablecoin issuers to get more exposure to treasuries through stablecoins. Increased liquidity. Tokenization could potentially create new investment and trading strategies through seamless integrations and programmable logic. Tokenized treasuries may trade 24/7 on blockchain networks, though the impact of this could work in two ways. Tokenization of the treasury market holds promise but needs further study. Caution is warranted as the treasury market is already highly liquid and efficient. I like how they throw that one in, while at the same time, in the same breath, on the same day, they're announcing that they have to do a 30 billion in off-the-run securities for liquidity support. So at the same time, they're very liquid, they're very strong, but also we're going to have to rush to get a deal passed in DC for stablecoins, and we're also going to have to continue providing 30 billion in liquidity for bonds right now. QE Infinity summarizes this very well. The biggest quagmire of this market, you have two choices: sit in cash and watch your wealth get destroyed by currency debasement, or to take on tremendous risk and buy overpriced equities and attempt to keep up with inflation. What's an investor supposed to do? Well, I would, respond to number two with some other opportunities, right? Instead of buying overpriced equities in the stock market, what am I looking at? Private equity. Companies that are set to be, very important in this new economy, right? That are at the forefront of new technology and innovation, like, say, a Ripple and others, right? So that's the equities that I would be looking at. But as far as other opportunities, right, he's right. You do need to take on tremendous risk if you want to beat inflation. Am I going to do so with the bond? No. You'll be lucky to, break even. Am I going to do so with a stock? Not likely, unless you're invested in maybe Donald Trump media, right? That one's been doing pretty dang well over the past little bit of a run there for Donald Trump stock, right? And of course, there's a few other stocks that have performed, pretty well too, and relatively speaking, beat inflation. But I'm not looking to beat inflation by 5 or 10%. I don't know about you guys. I'm looking to beat inflation by 500%, which is exactly what I just did in the XRP memes, right? So QE Infinity, maybe we should get him tapped in with the XRP memes. And I say that jokingly, even though that is where we found opportunity, right? If I'm going to take risk, if I'm going to go to the casino, let's make a bet that can play out to, the potential of a 5x, a 10x, which is what I'm looking to find at this moment in time. As I'm looking across the opportunities, whether it's crypto, stocks, private equity, real estate, my own business, where can I get a 5 and a 10 bagger? Now, like I said, your risk tolerance is going to decide and determine how much risk you're willing to take on, right? I'm not saying that everybody should go look the alphas in XRP memes for everybody. Not everybody has the time to even trade, which is where I think that you look across from a fundamental perspective at these cryptocurrencies that are going to run up this bull run 5 and 10x, and you look and you say, hey, these are opportunities that conservatively can bring me up to a 3 to 5x. On the high side, we can go maybe towards a 10x, and I'm going to be very happy with that because it's beating inflation by a factor that's worth talking about. Beating inflation by 5% is, sorry, excuse my language, pissing in the wind, right? Let's be honest with ourselves, which is why I'm not interested in a bond right now, right? I'm not interested in a stock that might go up by 10% over the course of a next year. I'm not interested in the index funds that at best are going to do 5 to 10% this year. Oh, wow, we blew it out. We did 15%. None of the big hitters are looking for that. That's not the alpha. That's what's fed to the masses. And if it's a good year for the market, the number goes up by 10 to 15%, and we're supposed to cheerlead our financial advisor, the Wall Street broker, who's maybe broker than us, shilling us the index fund that he's getting the back end on, right? It's just like the influencers showing you the memes. Same thing as the Wall Street broker that's showing you the index fund. Oh, we got a hot new mutual fund. See, I remember when I used to work at my job. I remember when Morgan Stanley came in, they didn't even bring us any pizza or nothing. Maybe they did bring us. I can't remember if they brought us pizza, but they came in once a year and they would pitch us on, the great new mutual funds that came across their desk and why we should ape in more to our retirement accounts and 401k. Now, when I left that job, I did sell off my IRA that I had. I completely sold that off and I used that to fund my business. And in the returns that I got on my business, were financial freedom and were multiples that are well past even a 10 bagger, right? Basically, that's what we call a quantum leap when you go from basically zero or the small bit of money that I had getting started, right? I wasn't given anything when I started. So that's a quantum leap when you start from zero to, what I've been able to accomplish up to this point, and we're just getting started. But like I said, in this market right now, what do we do? What should you do? You're not 30 years old like me, or maybe you are. Maybe you're younger, maybe you're older. We have community members all the way from, 18 years old all the way up to 70 plus. We got some 70-year-olds trading memes. I'm not saying that you should cash out your IRA, your 401k retirement account and go trade memes, right? I'm saying that we got to ask ourselves what we're in. We got to know. Half of America doesn't even know what they're in as far as their retirement account. And you shouldn't wait around for the one time a year that the Morgan Stanley or the Wall Street dude who comes in to the company and he comes once a year to meet with you. You should be calling him up. You should be asking, what's really going on here? Where's the real alpha at? Not what you're getting paid to shill me. Where's the real alpha at? And so this is what I want to equip you guys with. And when we look, like I said, the options are not just sit in cash or go into the stock market, right? The options have been here for 1,000+ years and have always outdone the fiat currencies and the problem that we're up against, which is why I've always said on the defensive side of my portfolio, I'm right here. I'm in this little pet rock that might have just a little bit of utility, has a lot of utility. And we know that it's been running at a deficit, a shortage of supply for the past 3 years. We know the utility, the fundamentals behind this take us much higher than the current prices today. Am I pleased with my returns on silver? No. Do I still believe that some massive moves are coming on silver? Absolutely, right? Am I up on my silver right now? I am. Yeah, I'm up. But like I said, I don't wake up in the morning to go make 10, 20%. That's not what I wake up in the morning for, right? That ain't going to feed the family in this economy. Okay. So I am not absolutely pleased with these returns yet, but it's also steadily been growing and it's actually had a pretty decent run, right? It's just, it doesn't compare to the other side of my portfolio, but that's the point, is I don't compare this side of my portfolio with meme coins. I don't compare this side of my portfolio with my crypto or my offensive side, where I'm looking at private equity, where I'm looking at real estate. I would argue that even real estate's more on the defensive side of my portfolio too. It's like kind of in the middle. And so I've been on the defensive side in silver and in cash. When I look to the other side, right, this is where I'm getting excited about some of these other opportunities. I want to show you guys though. Take a listen in on this clip right here. This is Adrian Day, absolute legend in the precious metals commodity investing space, over 50 years of experience. And these are the guys that I like to listen to, right? I can talk about crypto. I can talk about the memes. I just started investing in metals a few years ago, and I just started studying precious metals, 10 years ago, give or take, seriously. And so I like to listen to these guys that have been around for 50+ years in these markets. And what he's saying right here, quote, I would say that the gold bull market has only just begun. And he lays out why he thinks gold move is still in its early stages. Take a listen in on this. And this is, by the way, this is put out here by Jesse Day, host of Commodity Culture and a content creator for the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference.
I see the last 2 years from really October of 2022 all the way through to the end of August. I see that as a run up in gold and also silver and gold stocks, unrelated to the normal reasons that gold moves. In other words, the macroeconomic environment that normally drives gold was completely missing. You had high interest rates, you had low and declining inflation, and I'll say seemingly. You had a seemingly strong economy. You had a strong stock market, a reasonably strong dollar. That is precisely the wrong environment for gold to be going up. So what we saw for 2 years was really something completely different. People were buying for completely different reasons. Now, starting last month, we are beginning to move into that economic environment with the Fed having its first rate cut, and it's the first of many or several at any rate, and clear cracks appearing in the US economy, the dollar declining. We're now moving into an environment that is actually an environment where gold should move. So I would say that if you like, the normal gold bull market has only just begun.
And I think that he makes a very important point right there, is that the environment that gold's been going and smashing through all-time highs with right now is not a typical gold bull run market, right? And we're actually going into that environment where the rates are going to continue to come down. They're going to have to flip back on that money printer. They're going to have to do more bailouts. We're talking about, really the banking crisis is still going on as well, too. So we have had catalysts that have kind of been present for gold to perform well. The banking crisis started last year. We started to see the BTFP program, and there were some things that started to come in, which were basically back-end bailouts. Most people didn't even understand what was happening or even hear about that, right? They just heard, oh, the banking crisis is over because the mainstream media told me, not understanding that it was actually a bailout program on the back end of the system that's been keeping everything liquid. And that's basically still going on to this day. But like he was saying, and it's a great point, and once again, I'm a newbie on the block when it comes to precious metals. Absolutely. So to hear this from somebody who's been around and lived through these gold bull markets, right? He was in the original run up after Nixon took us off the gold standard back in 71. I like to listen to the guys that were around for that one, that were around for the run up in the 2000s, and that are still in the game today. What we're seeing too is the data is telling us that this retail movement on gold hasn't even really started. It's just now beginning. The search term buy gold is spiking on Google Trends worldwide and is at a 90-day high. What does this mean to you? Well, what this means to me is that retail hasn't even really been buying in mass up to this point. Mostly retail's actually been selling. All the reports that I'm getting from our affiliates, our community resources that we work with, all of the information that I'm getting from others. When I travel around, I was just in California a couple months ago, went to a precious metals dealer, asked them how business is going on. And it's the same thing across the board. We're getting 3 sellers or 5 sellers for every 1 buyer, particularly in gold as well too, right? Gold running up, retail's taking profits, and they're also being forced to sell. A lot of folks, because of the situation with inflation, our economy, they're being forced to sell. Thankfully, thank God, and I really mean this, thank God, because I know some people in our community where this has been the case. We needed that money, right? And thank God, gold has performed so well, and folks have been able to cash out and take some healthy profits, but then been able to survive, right? Which, that's what we're up against right now. And at the same time, like I said, retail is just now arriving, which is typical of the retail mindset. Retail piles in as we're already approaching or at all-time highs. The smart money's been already accumulating, right? They suppressed this thing since 2011. They beat up. The environment for gold, for a while now has been poor. It really picked up in 2020 and got suppressed back down once again through all of, basically covering things up and, during that time. And during the banking crisis last year, that's when it sparked up. And now we finally have broken through that resistance that we had at about it was about 2050, right? It was sub 2100. We triple tapped off that level. And then finally, after the banking crisis and then the run up last year, we finally punched through that resistance. And then it was just 2100, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And we just broke 2800 last night. And what's happening on the trends on retail? Well, Google searches is just now spiking up. It's the highest level in the past 90 days. Now, in the same way that retail doesn't have liquidity to buy gold, or they're like, like me, like I don't have liquidity to buy gold, right? I've been buying silver because I don't have M's in the bank account to buy, or to allocate towards gold right now. I've been dipping my toes in the water by stacking up the silver and mostly been sticking in my cash. Retail, just like they are struggling to find money to buy gold, to buy silver, I thought that this was an interesting point right here that was brought up by Bare Naked Crypto. He says, this is an unpopular opinion. Sports betting took away our alt season because all the degenerate money is being gambled elsewhere. You can make a correlation to sports betting being heavily legalized in the last 3 years to altcoins underperforming. Retail took the bait in 2021, got wrecked, and ain't ever coming back till the economy is in their favor again. Now, I don't necessarily agree with all the points right there, but I do agree. There was a lot of retail that piled in during 2021 to a lot of memes. I mean, look at the NFTs, right? Some folks got caught bag holding NFTs, cryptocurrencies. I mean, even in the XRP community too, right? It's not what I like to see, but we got to face the facts and we got to consider, what's happening? Where is the money? Is new retail money going to be coming in? I think it is an interesting point to consider. Not only are we competing against thousands of tokens, we're also competing against now a bunch of meme coins on the XRP ledger too, right? XRP just got memes. So now we have thousands of tokens that are being created over here. And on top of that, we do have the absolute explosion that we've seen in online sports betting. I mean, in fact, we have betting now on all the markets, right? These betting markets have exploded. We got folks, big whales, right? That French guy, what did he bet? Some $20 million on Trump winning, right? These betting markets have exploded. The sports betting has exploded. Retail, token creation has exploded, right? And really, when you look at that, you're going to have to really stick out. You're going to have to be having, a real story, a real narrative to bring liquidity in. And you're going to have real utility to keep the liquidity there. That's what gets interesting to me with this whole XRP scenario right now, is that memes are bringing folks back to XRP. I've been listening to the spaces and I've been fascinated with this whole meme craze. I've definitely been playing around. I've definitely been testing, and I've made money so far on the memes. Right now, full disclosure, I don't hold any meme coins other than a couple tokens that I got rugged on. I have, not enough liquidity in these tokens to even sell my positions off. So, technically speaking, do I have a couple positions? Yes, but they're tokens that I got rugged on. So I'm out, right? I took my money and ran. And I'm going to talk about this moment right now. But back to the point that I was making, I'm fascinated by this right now because, like I said, you need a strong narrative and a lot of attention to bring liquidity into your project, into what you're invested in right now. We are doing that right now with the memes. We are doing that right now with the legal battle against the SEC. The fact that XRP's won that and we have legal clarity. We're doing that right now with all the additional utilities that are coming to the XRP ledger as well. And what's happening is I'm listening in these spaces. These are guys that have had their XRP moonbag. And it's been fascinating to hear because they didn't have to go buy new XRP. They've always been bag holders. And I've been talking about this. These are guys that have been publicly, hating on XRP, fudding on XRP, talking crap about XRP, going out and all their attention has been in Ethereum, has been in Solana, has been wherever the money's going. They're following the money. And this meme craze has really exposed just how many folks, had bags of XRP, but then also had no idea that XRP, one, the ledger just works so well, and two, now we have all these additional capabilities and functions on the XRP ledger and that are coming, right? Do we have smart contracts? No. But do we have some functions and some abilities to do some stuff now? Yes, we do. We got the NFTs, we got the AMM, now we got the memes. And it's bringing attention, it's bringing liquidity, but can we get liquidity to stay? And I've always said this too, from the bottom up, retail meme coin pump it up, liquidity's coming in. And from the top down, that's where Ripple's going to bring in their liquidity from the institutions. This is the best of both worlds for a token like XRP. Can the same story be told? Is the same thing happening in other projects? That's the question that we're asking. By and large, I don't see that. I see retail. I absolutely see retail. And then on the top end, I see a lot of fake partnerships. I see a lot of playing around. I see a lot of storytelling, but not actually following through. Look at what just happened with WADS Pay. You want another prime example? Just look at what happened with WADS Pay. Goes by the ticker WTK, WADS Pay. Some folks really pumped that one up too. Today they announced basically that they inflated the supply by 10x. They went from 1 billion tokens to 10 billion. Whole project and community is exploding right now. I had no idea. Somebody commented it. Somebody sent me the deal and they said, hey, look at what happened with WADS Pay today. And look at who's being silent about it too, which is interesting, right? It's always interesting. These folks are quick to pump it up. Then these things happen and they go missing, don't they? I've been here with you guys through the thick and the thin, and I ain't going anywhere. Despite what they're trying to send our way. Because it's not just me, they're coming after our community too. And I'm doing everything that I can to protect our community. I'm doing everything that I can to find us the best opportunities. I'm never going to be your financial advisor or anybody's financial advisor. I don't have any signals. I don't have a bot. I am not going to trade for you. You can read my full disclaimer at my website. But what I am going to do is always be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest when I see an opportunity. I'm going to be honest when I see a piece of crap token, right? That's what I'm here to do. And what we just saw was the meme coin bubble get popped. I called it for what it was. Some people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. But I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to be effective. And by being effective, that's how I gain your respect. And that's how I end up being liked. That's why our community has grown so strong. Is because we're willing to call a spade, which is exactly what just happened with this ATM project. And I want to say this too. I'm addressing this because this was some drama that I had to deal with today, and I want to get it out of the way. I don't got time for this silly stuff. I don't care if I pissed off some people. I don't care if I'm not a friendly influencer. I'm glad that my inbox is not going to be filled with a bunch of projects asking me to shill. Because they know I'm not. They know. I've left it open. I've said, ever since I started creating content, anybody who's building a legitimate project on the XRP ledger, come on my show. For free, nothing. Nothing from you, come on my show for free. Why are these guys not banging down my door? Why are they not coming to take my line of questioning? It's because I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to be nice. I'm not here to kiss ass. I'm here to be effective. And I'm here to make money. And I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that my community doesn't get dunked on. What just happened was the meme coin bubble got popped by this ATM token. And it's very unfortunate because I got criticized. I got a lot of crap today. That's fine. I got thick skin. And I don't regret what I did. Because I called it out for what it was. I let my community know it was coming. And that's all we can do. People misinterpreted what I said, what I did, and it was unfortunate. But here's what happened, folks. ATM popped the initial XRP meme coin bubble. It doesn't mean that the project is dead. Never said that. Never said it was a scam. It doesn't mean that Dirk is a bad guy. right? Dirk from X Spectre launched this token. I never said Dirk was a bad guy. I wish that he would show me a little bit of respect. He doesn't, but that's fine. That's cool. I got thick skin. I like talking crap. I like having fun. I like making money too. We saw this one coming a mile away. Doesn't mean Dirk's a bad guy. Doesn't mean anybody did anything wrong or illegal. But I will say this, just like my mentor Dan Pena says, our program works out very well. But we only do it if it's legal, moral, and ethical. And legal and the law, moral, and ethics swing in the wind, depending on which jurisdiction you're in. And I just ask yourself, are you going to sleep peacefully at night? I am, because I'm always honest. I'm always transparent. And I will, by the way, I will never launch a token, and I will never show you a token. Just remember that too. It doesn't mean the XRP memes are dead. So the problem was that everybody got all offended. Not only did folks in the community get offended, Dirk got offended, influencers that I called out got offended. That's all right. When you look at the merits of what I put forward, what I reported on, was I right? Was it true? Absolutely. And I said, but apparently I am the bad guy for seeing this coming before it happened and reporting it to my community. Now, I am going to read off Dirk's response. He says, nothing popped, still going strong and community working hard, almost 10,000 holders, and strong 1 million market cap. And that's the point. That is the point, is that I knew Dirk had a strong community. I knew the X Spectre community, very strong. And then when I started to see influencers gathering around and everybody getting excited and everybody shilling, I said, okay, we see what's coming. Now, you got Jungle Link right here retweeting me out, posting my picture with the red folder. That's fine. That's fine. Still staying by it. Still got it. Still filling up the red folder. The damages are still massive. We weren't wrong about that. We were 1000% correct. And they all know it. They all know it. Zach Rector released a video implying that Dirk and Crypto Airy were involved in insider trading, claiming he received some sort of insider message. That's not what I said. I never said it was insider trading. It was a publicly coordinated pump and dump. But maybe it would have been helpful if all those influencers who posted about it also mentioned that they were getting ready to sell at the same exact time. Because I respect how strong the community is. Because I respect Dirk's role in our community, his place in our community. Because I know how respected all of the influencers that were getting ready to shill it are, I knew a pump was coming. And I also knew that a dump was coming. And so what did we do? What did we do? Folks said, because here's the other part. People were mad that I put it behind my paywall. People were mad that I only shared it with my Patreon group. I've always said, I only share my positions with my Patreon and Discord group. Not that I send signals, not that I'm going to trade for you, none of that. But I like to be able to talk about it. It's my safe space to talk about what I'm doing with my money. You can compare and contrast your life, your portfolio, right? The reason why I started my Patreon group in the very beginning was because I kept on getting in trouble on TikTok. This was in 2021. I was getting in trouble for the things that I said on TikTok. That's why I started a private group. As my group grew, what happened is more and more people were trying to infiltrate and attack our community. So what I did and what I continue to do is I try to protect my community. Now, the other thing, like I said, it is my safe space. You have to understand, in my position, and thank God our community has grown to over 400,000 plus people between the various platforms. We're almost pushing 500,000 people in my community. If I say something bad about a project, people lose their minds. People that hold the project, people that are part of the project, if I call it an influencer, people get very upset And I did that back in the day. And now I called out this one, and I'm going to have to go back into hiding because everybody gets so mad at Zach. Everybody gets so mad at me because I don't play ball. I don't play nice. I'm not going to shill my community. And I share that in my private space, in my safe space. You know, I make fun of the woke. I make fun of those that need a safe space. But the reason why is because right now my DMs are full of the worst threats that you can imagine. And that's where we're at as a society, as a crypto space. We're trying to build out a new financial system. And God forbid you talk. And that's the thing, is I didn't even talk bad about the project. I didn't say it was dead. I didn't say it wouldn't be successful. Maybe Dirk will have the best meme coin ever. I just said, hey guys, it's going to run up. It's going to sell off. There might be an opportunity to arbitrage that. And there absolutely was. Now, there were some folks that reported about the project, talked about the project, shilled the project, but did they mention the opportunity to arbitrage that pump and then that subsequent dump? No. Did they mention that they were getting ready to sell? No. That's why I have created that community, is because we've been under attack for the past 3 years, almost 4 years now that I've been creating content. You have to understand, everybody wants me to shield their token. Everybody wants me to speak positive. I could sit here for hours every day and just field questions looking at tickers. People love doing that. Hey, what do you think about this ticker? What do you think about that ticker? But it's like that scene with Jack Nicklaus. You can't handle the truth. That's why I don't do a lot of reviewing the coins. It's because people don't want to hear what I have to say about the token. And when it gets to this point, when you really expose some people, they're quick to go on the defense, but then they're quick to start coming at you hard. And I don't want to get into it, but you can imagine the worst of the worst. Family, docs, attack in every way imaginable. These people are like little demons. And that's why I try to stick away from this energy. And this is why I try to protect my community from this energy. And I did everything that I could to send out the public warning as well. Here's your tweet right here. I did send out a public warning for all the folks that are mad at me. Why didn't you share this publicly? Well, if you saw the threats in my DMs, you'd understand why I don't share all this stuff publicly. But what did I put together right here? A series of tweets. I said, Dirk flipped the hype switch on. I heard someone launched a meme coin. Pump groups have been activated. Look out. I did everything that I could to put out the word without mentioning the project specifically. I mean, even though I retweeted Dirk. And that's the point that I said, is that I'm not saying that anybody did anything wrong. I never said that. Now, whether you think it's moral or ethical to dump on your community, you know, they have to sleep with themselves at night. I'm not the only one that saw this. I want to show you this tweet right here. Would you look at that? A veteran in the meme game saw the same exact thing that I reported on. This is Sardine King O. Now, he's one of these degens that came in from Solana, right? Look at his bio. 99% based degen at heart. These are the guys that have come in. Now, I've started to follow some of these guys just to catch the vibe, see what they're working with. But look at what he retweeted to my tweet, right? He responded to what I said. Sad. As soon as I saw the influencers posting ATM, I dumped all my holdings. Saw this at TRX, which is Tron. These are guys that traded the memes and have been in the game, have been in the hustle. This is a veteran in the space who was trading with he's been posting his wallet. Guy's not betting with a few hundred XRP. He ain't playing around with a little bag like me. I'm too scared to bet 50,000 and 100,000 XRP like this guy. This guy's throwing around. I actually retweeted him a few days ago, I think, and I said generational wealth bag of memes. This guy's a big hitter in this game right now. And this is who you're up against. And these guys would admit that. because they know that it's PvP, player versus player. They know how cutthroat this space is. And so what did he say? It's sad. As soon as I saw the influencers posting ATM, I dumped all my holdings, saw the same thing on Tron. I'm sure he saw the same thing on Solana. I'm sure he saw the same thing on Ethereum. And now here we are on the XRP ledger. But I'm the bad guy. Right. I'm the bad guy. So what happened, guys, like I said, is that this attracted all the liquidity. Exactly like we warned about. It's going to be a big one. I got in when it had about 500 holders, and I was telling my Discord guys, Expector has about 10,000 token holders. There's an arbitrage between 500 holders and 10,000 holders. Guess where it's at right now? Almost 10,000 holders. They're still growing. The holders are still growing. Distribution is happening. And it's happening at a much lower price than where it was at when we were sending out these warnings. And so I say all this because I want to get this out of the way. I don't want to have to address this anymore. I just wanted to put it out there for everybody to know why I try to keep this private. People can't handle the truth. People want to come after my family. People want to try to dox me. People want to try to report me. People are sending me threats. People are telling me that, oh, just spoke with my lawyer. It's hilarious. I shouldn't be laughing because it actually is pretty serious. But unfortunately for them, they should know that I'm already at a warlike posture. I know what evil we're up against. And these little guys, they're just a small little foot soldier that we're about to knock out of our way on our path to generational wealth. And part of that process was absolutely buying in to that token when we saw it coming and absolutely selling off when we had some good profit. I could have sold off more. But the final point that I was going to make is that this token blew up the bubble. This was the initial meme coin pump bubble for the XRP meme coins. It was a nice little ride for the past week and a half. The energy ain't what it was. This one took the wind. It knocked the wind out of the space. Are meme coins dead? No. Am I still a fan of what's going on right now? I am. Even though it's unfortunate that some people lose money. You got to give the people what they want. And the people want to do these games. The people want to play here. So let's let them play. But the point being is that it popped the bubble. And now everybody's trying to search where the real value's at. Everybody's trying to say, hey, I got the blue chip. And maybe they do. That's the opportunity right now is that, yeah, I don't think that the memes are dead. It's just now we're starting to see distribution of liquidity at a time when there's a new token being launched every minute. And so, to the point I noted earlier, you got folks that are trying to find the liquidity to bet between meme coins, to bet between sports betting, to bet between who's going to be the next president, to go do other degenerate activity, whatever they do on the weekend with their time and their money, right? As I said, degens are always going to be degens. I'd rather have them at the XRP Ledger casino than at the casino down the road. And you just have to understand what this game is. This XRP, not just XRP, but the meme coin trade, the meme coin hustle. And many of you guys that have been with me for the past few years, you continue to see time after time again where they try to come at me, they try to come, and it goes nowhere. Why? Because we've just been honest. They can't say that I've shilled anything, right? They can say, oh, wow, you are a big fan of XRP and XRP sucks. There's a long line of people that are saying that about me. But when they try to come back, and it's interesting because I never said that anybody broke a law, anybody did anything wrong. And I didn't say, I specifically said I wasn't going to speculate on any sort of back deals, any sort of messages, any sort of activity. I said I wasn't going to speculate because all I had to do was look at what was happening publicly to see the opportunity. But what's so interesting to watch is folks try to run and get in front and defend themselves against said activity. But hey, enough on that point. I wanted to get it out of the way. I wanted to address it because I've taken some heat. Some people are mad at me. A lot of people are mad. Why you keep this private? Why is it behind your paywall? Oh, I got to sign up for your Patreon. If you saw the threats that I get when I talk about a project like this, when I call out influencers like this, you'd understand. You'd understand. Everything that I do here is to protect our community. Everything that I do here is to help us make it through a moment where our community is going to be attacked like never before. This is not the end of it. Not only is it the memes, there's other hucksters that are lining up. There's other folks that see. You have to understand how respected our XRP community is. Despite what these guys talk, these guys like to talk and hate on XRP and all this and that. They call us the boomer chain. Well, you know what the boomers have? The boomers have the bag. When I talk about the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, the boomers are the ones that have 50 trillion of wealth to hand on down. So you can call us the boomer chain. To me, that's the wealthy chain. And that's a chain of people that have been around the block and ain't going to fall for a lot of the scams and ain't going to play around with the games too much too. Which frustrates the scammers, which frustrates those that are, launching tokens to sell you. But that's the game. That's how it played. Right now, like I said, I'm in XRP. I'm on the sidelines. And I'm kind of just watching right now again to see where this meme coin space settles down at. But a few more points, and then I do want to get to Q&A before we run it too long here tonight. XLS40D did pass and is now activated today. Decentralized identity on the XRP ledger just got activated. A building block for the next steps of decentralized identity, credentials, permission domains, permission dexes, etc. This is getting good. Like I said, this convergence of utility, legal clarity, regulations, and a broader liquidity cycle is getting me excited. Now we see that David did respond here. I want to see, we did get Dennis dropped a little super chat here. Dennis, appreciate your support. I dumped my XDC when I learned a couple days ago that R3 was losing money, been that way for a while, and push it into XRP. XDC is Zinfin, and they are, yes, behind, yep. And, Dennis, that's an interesting point. We did see the R3 looking to maybe sell, maybe be acquired. And so that is one that I'm going to have to look into for sure. I want to just make sure I didn't miss any other comments there. You guys can start to get your comments ready, your questions ready to go. I just got a couple more data points. This is David Schwartz responding. This is what I mean by folks taking this out of context. When he said that banks will never be Ripple's success story, this is what he meant. He says, I think that people may be misunderstanding what I was trying to say here. The thing they misunderstood me to be saying is probably also something that I would agree with, but it's not what I meant to say. Which was, that banks are not going to be Ripple's success story. What did he mean? By banks will not be Ripple's success story, what I mean is that even if Ripple does some deal with a big bank, even if it works out great for both sides, the bank will not likely be transformed or significantly changed because it was big and successful to start with. Now, what this relates to is, as you're seeing with their smaller partners, right? These little institutions, we shared one out of Australia, a partner that's been with them since 2016. What Ripple's helping to, the success stories are these smaller institutions that are able to actually grow their business. And as the Australian partner there talked about, Ripple was opening the doors for other partners for them. And we've seen this same story told time and time again with all these Ripple partners, right? Now, so the point being, is Ripple going to go, is the success story going to be JP Morgan using the XRP ledger? It's not going to be, because JP Morgan's already the biggest bank that we have, right? Or one of them, right? So the success story is not going to come from JP Morgan, right, using XRP Ledger. The success story is going to come from these other smaller institutional partners that they have, where they're able to actually, help them become a success, right? And he was never saying that Ripple wasn't working with banks, that Ripple wasn't going to be a success, that Ripple's not successful right now. There's a reason why Ripple's still making acquisitions, still has plenty of liquidity, is still building out the ecosystem, right? And why they're still able to fight against the SEC in this lawsuit, right? It is because they're in a very, very strong position because of their success. At the same time, they're reinvesting back in the ecosystem. They're reinvesting back in their infrastructure. And that's what's being added right now with the custody and the stablecoin as well. So we got to be careful with what folks, like I said yesterday, folks like to take these things, put the spin factor on them. It reminds me of Bill O'Reilly. What is he called? The spin zone. There's some XRP fudsters that like to put the spin on it, don't they? The problem, they're up against the truth. And the problem is the truth is going viral and the truth is going to set us free. Nearing the final edit of XRP Unleashed. This is the update here from Fruition Productions. We're excited to show everyone what we have been working on and want to thank those who have interviewed with us for the documentary. We have a feeling that the fight may be over soon. Stay strong, XRP Army. Now, if you haven't already got your ticket for the pre-screening that they're going to be doing, that's going to be taking place in about 7 cities across the country. Major pre-screening tour that they're going to be doing. And that's going to be taking place. I actually just got off the phone with Maya, actually about an hour or so ago. I spoke with Maya. She gave me an update on the project, on who they are getting the documentary out to. She did say that they actually are giving Hollywood one more chance. They're kind of circling back, looking at doing some film festivals. And, they're basically, it's gone across the desk of, the biggest names and producers and studios within Hollywood. The likes of Netflix, of Warner Brothers and others, they've all had it come across their desk. But we have to ask ourselves, why aren't they interested in it? Is it because this is a boring story? Is it not entertaining? Is it not a very juicy story about corruption, about saving our country? It absolutely is. But who does it expose? It exposes their buddies, right? The same buddies with the same interests, right? And so, once again, this story is going viral. Despite everything that they've thrown against us, our community continues to remain strong. We continue to remain in the fight, and we need to acknowledge the victories that we're having, I think, at a time when the sentiment is down, sentiment is low because of price. And I already know, guys, I'm right there with you. As far as folks that say, all this great news, where's price? I get that comment every single video. I'm tired of reading that, and I'm tired of reporting all this great news and having no price action as well. I'm right there with you. The point is, though, is that this is the fundamental thesis that one must acknowledge before the opportunity arrives, right? Now, have I ever said, go all in XRP and don't look at other things? No. What have I been doing, right? I traded these memes. We grew the bag. That was nice. There was some money to be made there. And for me, XRP, the thesis only grows stronger. If the price goes lower, the opportunity only gets better. If that's not how somebody sees it, that's fine. That's fine. And I totally get the frustration with lack of price action. Totally get it. One more final point. Oh, wait, no, that was it. That was all that I had. So, with that being said, guys, XRP going viral. We got John Deaton running up against Elizabeth Warren. You guys saw that, helping get the XRP word out right there. You saw what's taking place here in this election cycle. When I spoke with Maya, not only did she tell me that she's getting the word out to some folks in Hollywood, they're getting the word out to some other folks as well. I can't speak on it, but it's the type of exposure that takes this more viral than even I think we even thought would be a best case scenario. If we actually are able to get some of these deals done it's looking like this one's going to be bigger than even what we were expecting for a best case scenario. And I'm not trying to just hype this thing up. I'm not just saying this because I got interviewed for it. It's an honor to be a part of the film. I hope that I have a small port. I'd love to be featured in the film. I'm not going to say that I don't want to be in the documentary. It's an honor to be in it. But I hope that the rest of the time is focused on this story that's going to sell so well and resonate so well with folks that aren't even in the XRP community, that folks that aren't even in cryptocurrency. And that's where this message is going right now. This message is going across the desk of Hollywood executives. They're probably going to throw it off to the side. And I told Maya, I said, Maya, you guys need to be careful that these guys don't buy the rights to this film and then try to bury it. Because I could see them trying to do that one. Is they don't want this one to be released, so they show up, just like Hollywood always does, when they get you to sell your soul. They say, oh yeah, of course we got some money for you to sell us the rights to this film. You sign the deal, you sell your soul to whoever's, the Hollywood deal is. And they bury it for it never to be seen. So I said, be careful. But they're doing great work. And they're getting the word out, and we're going to continue to get the word out. And, in conclusion, before I open it up for Q&A, start dropping your comments and questions down below right now, is we're not going anywhere, right? Despite silly drama stuff, folks trying to attack me, we're not going anywhere. They can call me whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can't say that I shilled. They can't say that I dumped. They can't say any of that stuff. We've never done it. Never will. And we also haven't changed, right? Folks, say, oh, this is getting frustrating. Right there with you. But this is why we got to be diversified in other opportunities. This is why we need to be building our business. This is why we need to be hedged. We can't go all in XRP. That's never been a part of the plan. XRP is an opportunity that gets us excited. It's not the only investment. And so I think that our community is really benefiting from having that diversity into the assets that continue to showcase real value. And that's been our metals that have been performing well. And that's also been in some of the other opportunities that we found here as far as other cryptocurrencies, other investments, looking at private equity. Some of you guys do real estate real well. Some of you guys have been focused on your business. I know that I've been talking with community members that have started their side hustle. They've been growing their business. They figured out how to get a raise at their job. And this was all part of the recession to-do list that I put together back in 2022. And now we're starting to see how if you would have taken that advice to, number one, focus on income and focus on getting liquid, because the moon might not come tomorrow. And here we are still holding a 52-cent XRP, right? And folks miss that. They think that I'm just an XRP hypester and the other stuff doesn't sell as well as XRP. If I make a video that doesn't have XRP in the title, I already know it's going to have less views. That's fine. We're going to continue to cover all of this because I think that this whole entire thesis and strategy that we've put together is what is helping our community thrive and at the very bare minimum survive what they are sending our way. My prayer is that we can at least survive, but furthermore, I want to see us growing. I want to see us expanding, building. And I want to resonate with the folks that have that same positive energy and outlook of what this opportunity is. An opportunity to fight for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. For not just the United States of America, but worldwide. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm fighting for. Let's see what you guys have to say. Let's open it up here for Q&A. Shannon says, proud of you, always keeping it classy. Keep up the good fight. Shannon, I love you so much. Thank you so much for all your support. Been here for since the very beginning. And you know we're not going anywhere. You know that they can't shake us as hard as they try to. We are not going anywhere. And yeah, I still got a smile on my face. Dennis says, BIS Enbridge politically unviable. Putin has just said that he would join SWIFT if the U.S. would stop using it as punishment. Russia SPFS is a SWIFT copy. And that's the thing. No matter whether you're on SWIFT or Russia's messaging platform or the China equivalent of Swift. Nobody trusts anybody, and you always are going to need that currency, right? That neutral bridge currency to get a deal done. And you need to settle up at the end of the day. You can send the messages all day through Swift. You can send the messages all day through these platforms. You can use your currency, but that doesn't mean that other people are going to want to use your currency. And so I haven't really focused, an incredible amount of time. Obviously, I've read a lot of these white papers and I've looked at a lot of these projects like Enbridge and others, but I've never been worried. So, like I talked about in yesterday's video, although XRP, the proof of concept, was for cross-border payments, the XRP ledger is ready to handle all the money, quote unquote, all the money, right? And that includes memes, that includes real estate, that includes equity, bonds, debt, and more. It's all going to get tokenized, derivatives included. And so I'm not worried about us replacing Swift. I'm looking forward to us getting a part of the cross-border payment flow. And then I'm also looking at how much are we going to get tokenized on our chain as well? And how great of a source of liquidity will the XRP ledger become? How stable will that liquidity be once we see institutions arrive, liquidity grow, and additional functionality and programmability come into the XRP ledger as well? When you say it is my prayer, just curious if you actually pray about it. I feel like I was led here and just wondering. I absolutely do. Absolutely do. I've had some of the most moving conversations over the past year with our community members. And what I say is that some difficult conversations. And maybe you're there too, right? It's not all sunshine and rainbows out here. And that's what I know. That's why I don't just put out pump it up content. We've had some real conversations, and I've been sending out some real prayers for our community. Absolutely. Reading comments, questions right now. XRP is the most frustrating investment ever. I have put in 100,000 and my XRP bag is currently sitting at 79,000. 5 years, no profit, and a $21,000 loss. I feel like I have just provided liquidity for Ripple. Yeah, I understand, Jack. So you're down about 20%. You can kind of guess where about your average price is at from those numbers, which I would recommend maybe not posting all the numbers publicly. Remember, we put a target on our backs here. Our XRP community is under attack. Not only... they got all sorts of scams to try to get your XRP and get your money from you. So be careful posting those types of, that type of information. But I get your point and I appreciate you being honest. Here's the thing. You have to look at why did you invest in XRP and what has changed in your thesis since you first made that investment. See, if you first invested in XRP because you thought that it was going to go up and moon, like you said, 5 years that you've been in this thing. So you're right there with many of us, myself included, right? I FOMO'd into XRP because I thought that I was going to miss the train, right? Now, thankfully, I'm still up right now. But the point being, my thesis has only grown stronger. What has your thesis done? Yes, you're down 20% on your investment. Is your thesis worse? Because today's price, right, is not a reflection of real value. And we're going to discover the real value. We're going to go into price discovery this bull run. And it's just a matter of, what has changed in your thesis. I know for myself, my targets on selling some XRP have come down. And I disclosed that with my community. I shared that in my XRP investment strategy, right? Where I updated my community on, hey guys, I thought that I was never going to sell XRP below $10. I'm selling some XRP below $10. Full disclosure. Not financial advice. That's not a signal. Even though I say it's not a signal, people are trading against us. You have to understand. People are trading against us. Especially someone like me, where they're watching us. Right? Now, we might think that we're just in our little bubble. But no, people are and this is what I've been saying. And I'll continue to say it. This is why there's going to be so many people hitting the exits at these lower prices. I'm just somebody who's going to be honest about it. How honest some other people, some other influencers want to be about it, they don't owe anybody disclosing their position. I do it just so people have context on where I'm at. I want you guys to know what my bias is. I am bullish XRP, but if you guys have been here with me for a few years, I've always been willing to question and criticize and be critical of the thesis. But back to the point there, who was that made that comment there? Jack, I appreciate the comment. Has your thesis grown stronger or weaker? And it's just up to you to adjust your strategy accordingly. Now, being down on XRP right now, that sucks. Does it mean that we are not going to run up this bull run? Absolutely not. How high are we going to go this bull run? Has that changed from where we thought maybe 5 years ago? Absolutely. I think that anybody who's being honest with themselves has to take a look at what has taken place with XRP over the past, really the past 4 years since the lawsuit got started. That's what changed the XRP timeline. And not acknowledging that, I think, is going to be a big error. If you're still hanging on to the same price targets for XRP breakout, I think we might need to adjust that based off of our timeline changing, the amount of holders who are in different positions than they were 5 years ago. See, it was easy to get into XRP over the past few years when times were good, things were great, and we thought that we were going to miss the train. We all aped in. Now here we are, and we're still waiting for XRP to run up. What has invalidated the XRP bull run? Nothing. I mean, obviously there's some people that think that they have a story, they have information, they have data maybe that leads them to believe that XRP won't perform this bull run. I haven't seen it. I'm yet to see it. Now, do I think that we go to $20 and $30? That's a stretch for me this bull run, to be honest with you guys. There's way too many people lined up to hit the exits at $5 to $10. That's why I feel your spirit. Famous, I appreciate you. And I've heard that from many people. I've heard that from many people. Not only that, they felt spiritual about the XRP investment, but that they felt spiritual and a connection with me. And I appreciate that. I feel that connection with you guys as well. The people that are in our community that have been here for a while now, I mean, I feel like we've been friends forever. And really, that's why I call it the family over in the Discord group. It really does feel like family, especially now that I've gotten to meet so many in person. Oh, somebody asked about the case. Yes. November 4th deadline, the judge advocates for possible readjustment settlement. That is for a frivolous lawsuit. That's the Zarkanov. It's a different case in California. It's not the SEC versus Ripple case. So I know that there was some people that shared out that today. That really, it's unfortunate. It always happens. It's just bound to happen. It's not necessarily that folks do it on purpose. Folks see a headline and they don't read into it. I even saw, these crypto news platforms, these crypto news outlets, they're some of the worst because they should know better, right? That's your job, is to be a journalist reporting on, what's actually happening. And I see a lot of them were reporting it on, but they were doing it to clickbait, right? Typical game. They were clickbaiting folks into say, oh, wow, settlement talks. It was a settlement in the California case where some doofus moron sued Brad. I don't know if he sued Brad or if he just sued Ripple. He might have sued Brad as well too, but he sued Ripple, basically alleging that he bought the top and it was like such a small amount. It's such a stupid case. It's a frivolous lawsuit, and the judge basically said, you guys come together and figure it out, So yeah, it was a different one. Kind of embarrassing that some of the influencers that ran with it. It happens. But yeah, I try to do my best. So we all make mistakes, but there's people that routinely are posting the fake news. Bro, XRP is absolutely trash. I love TikTok comments. They're the best. XRP is trash. What are you trying to gain from it? A 2x? No, I'm actually trying to get a 10x this bull run. So I'm looking at a 10x from 52 cents to $5.20. I'm looking for the 10 bagger on my XRP this bull run. 10 to 20, I think, 5 to 10 bucks. Nice little 10 to 20 bagger would make me a very, very happy camper. I saw someone said we don't have any more time. Well, absolutely. That's why we got to be looking at other opportunities. We got to be taking other actions. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree. Some of us overinvested in XRP. Thank God I overinvested in XRP before I had my family. I overinvested in XRP 5 years ago. And over the course of the past few years, I've been able to build up some other positions, other liquidity. And I never stopped focusing on my business, which is key. I never said that XRP was going to be the end all be all. But yeah, I feel you. $2x would be ecstatic. I'm hearing it all the time. Folks that can't wait to dump at $2. And I've always said this too. These guys are going to brag about dumping on us at $2. There are a lot of guys that, they claim, right? These guys always have a story, right? But they were the ones that claimed that they dumped at $2, which sure, okay, maybe you did. That's great. Here we are in 2024 on the brink of the next bull run. Looking at XRP today, what's it going to do over the next year? I think you got a 5 to 10x conservatively. Right. That doesn't mean bet on it going 10x tomorrow, next month, over the next few months. Right? Now, what's interesting though is we're really building this thing up right now, and we could easily go set a new all-time high for Bitcoin, see some liquidity get distributed. But what I worry about is the timeline between our election and inauguration day. See, I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. As far as who's gonna be elected, I'll believe it when I see him walking down Pennsylvania Avenue and walking into the White House. Why did one of the founders endorse Kamala? I think that Chris Larson was playing his role. It looks like he is a liberal and maybe he does really believe in some of that stuff. But it looks to me like it was a marketing ploy to get attention. And I think that it was very effective, I might say. And I think that it, and I know people don't like to hear this, obviously, but that's okay. I'm just sharing my opinion, and you're welcome to share yours, and you're willing to hit the thumbs down. I just ask that you do something, right? Smack it, tap it, hit something for me, and drop a comment too. Let me know how much you disagree with me. Chris Larson's endorsement and donation of $10 million of XRP isn't going to make a difference when it comes to this election, in my opinion. Right? So it was just purely marketing. I'm telling you, when institutional FOMO hits, you'll never be able to buy it cheap again. Dennis, that's the thing. I am scared to dump larger positions of my XRP bag because I worry about not being able to buy back in. But I have adjusted my strategy accordingly to where I'm at in life right now and what I think's coming for XRP this bull run. And I would encourage all of you guys to look once over your XRP exit strategy again right now. And there's two things to weigh. What is XRP going to do this bull run? Not what you want it to do. I know how much money we all want to make. What's it actually going to do? Versus where you're at in your life. Your risk tolerance. How much money do you need? How much debt are you in? Whatever life's throwing at you. I just can't take Chris Larson seriously when he comes out to endorse Kamala and this, campaign that's been running on a plan to raise corporate taxes, to potentially introduce an unrealized capital gains tax, along with some of the other economic policies that are absolutely disastrous for our economy. And for these guys to come on front of national television and say that they're excited about the economic policies. I would have much more respect for these guys if they just came on and said, I don't like Trump. I know that that's why a lot of people are not voting for Trump and are voting for Kamala. Right? But I think that Chris was playing his part. Someone had to fall on the sword. And I think Chris is at a level of wealth where you just don't care really what the masses think about you. Does Chris care that he pissed off half the XRP community or more? And like I said, I think that they're playing chess, not checkers. I think that they know how to play the game right. Stu, I appreciate you, my brother. My time is valuable to me, so I only watch authentic peeps. You're one, Zach. Keep on track. Ignore the BS. Yep. I apologize. Sometimes I do get distracted. Sometimes I get caught up. Every once in a while, I just can't help myself. I peek my head up. I say, hey, look out over here. And they come out of the woodworks. It's like whack-a-mole. I pop my little head up, and they all come. They're coming out of the woodworks. We got to get them. The same pump groups that were sending out the messages to get in the token, now they're sending out the message to go hit Zach. Go get him. And then I got to retreat back. Unbelievable. Gold and silver pop before or after same time as XRP? Well, shoot, it's happening right now, right? It's happening before. Which I'm very happy that many in our community have made a position in precious metals. It's played out really well for hedging our positions. Love you, Zach. No matter what, we will stand strong in the storm. Appreciate that. People celebrating here in LA right now. What are we celebrating in LA? Me, garbage, checking back in here. It's not even close. The Trump serving up fries at McDonald's and the garbage truck today, it's not even close. It's not even close. Go Dodgers. Oh, they won the World Series. See? This is the position. And nothing against sports. I'm a big sports fan. As far as, I like a good competition. I used to play some ball back in my day, right? So I do like sports. I always thought that I was actually going to be a sports broadcaster, a sports analyst. That's what I thought I was going to be. Here I am talking about financial markets and crypto and memes. This is a good spot to be in. I like my spot. I did actually find out a couple days ago that the World Series was going on. Obviously, I know it always happens this time of year, right? October. This is a good time for sports because you got the World Series going on. You got the football going on. And then NBA started too, right? So you got like the three major sports all going on at the same time. But yeah, that's where I'm at, right? I didn't even realize. Yeah, the World Series, Dodgers won. That's good. Speaking of generating some wealth, generational wealth, wasn't who's this guy from the Dodgers that got paid just a stupid amount? These baseball players, man. I kind of regret. I wish I would have. I kind of wish I would have tried to go pro in baseball because those checks are fat. Those checks are fat. Garbage. Yep. Yep. You know, it's funny. The whole garbage deal. I saw that Neil Hartner, he's a senior software developer at Ripple. I like Neil. He posts some funny stuff on the timeline. What I saw was Neil, he posted a comment about the garbage truck, and it was this morning, and I was here in the office and I'm working. I think I was getting ready to make my video this morning. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Is I was trying to make the video this morning. Chaos was happening in my house. My kids were distracting me. I'm trying to take care of this. I'm reading through Twitter, finding new news and stuff. And I see Neil Hartner make some joke about the garbage trucks. And Neil Hartner, he's got some good ones. He cracks me up. But anyways, I was like, oh, yes. Neil just reminded me to take out the trash. Well, I was in the middle of, I was like laughing about that. And then it was chaos in my house. I forget. Next thing I know, 30 minutes later, wifey yells at me, the garbage man's here. And I'm like, oh, crap. Get up. I run, take out the trash. So that was the chaos that I was going through this morning, trying to get out this morning's update. But the whole garbage truck thing, man, it's just, I love to see it. I love to see it. Scott Johnson showing up with a big one. Scott, really appreciate that, my friend. Keep up the fight, Mr. Rector. You are loved and respected, brother. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are my motivation, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, the laughs, the cries, everything in between. That's what makes this so interesting. That's what keeps us busy. I have a good time doing this, guys. I mean, you guys can see it on me. I have the best of intentions. Like I said, I'm not here to rain on anybody's parade other than those nefarious actors that come at our community. I'm here to protect, and, whether the nefarious actor is a meme coin shiller dumper or whether it's the SEC coming after good, honest citizens trying to use a technology to better humanity, we're here to fight it. And we ain't going anywhere. And we're going to get rich or die trying, right? Speaking of 50 Cent, here we are holding our 52 cent XRP. Oh, boy. Atani, that was the guy. Golly, these ball players are making just a stupid amount. I remember when Albert Pujols, is that his name? I forget all these guys now. I used to know so much about all this sports. Albert Pujols, is that his name? I remember when he signed a big one for the Cardinals. And that was like, I forget what it was. But now these guys, hundreds of millions of dollars to throw the baseball. I should have focused more in school. And I should have hit the gym. Should have hit the weight room. And I should have tried to become a ball player. Zach, you are legit. Appreciate all your hard work. Crypto Mountain Man, I appreciate that, my friend. What does that mean about dissolving Enbridge? That's a good question. Yeah. That's a good question. So I haven't actually looked into that. As far as what that means. It's been interesting because the BRICS summit took place and they kind of revealed that new currency, which was one of the ugliest currencies that I've ever seen, if I'm going to be honest. You got some nice bills. I always have the Canadian funny money because I go up to Canada pretty often. I've been to a couple other countries. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Belize. I've seen those. There's nice bills. But that BRICS currency, I was like, what the heck is that? But anyways, they roll out this deal, but they really left out a lot of the details. They left out, which platform it's going to be on. And to me, it just proves that they still don't have it figured out. We got it figured out. We got a solution. Whether folks want to take a look at it or not, And we know that they are. That's the funny part, is that we know that XRP is being used in a handful of these BRICS nations. And when we look at all of the countries that are signing on to do a BRICS deal, there's dozens upon dozens where, XRP corridors are fired up. So whether BRICS will formally adopt XRP, I never was expecting that. What I was expecting is that, BRICS is going to continue to look for platforms like XRP Ledger or others that they would either create themselves that would be able to provide that. The point, though, that I took away from BRICS is that they just still don't have it figured out. Now, BRICS Pay is still, there. They're still working on it. Well, like I said, it appears to me like they still don't have it all their ducks in a row, and they're not ready to go live yet. What's going on with the lawsuit in California? It's just some guy did a frivolous lawsuit against Ripple. He bought XRP during the bull run. His XRP bag's down. He lost a couple $100. I don't even know how much it was. It was nothing. And he's trying to say that, he was relying on Ripple. And, yeah. He's not going to win it. It's getting bad when Zach starts doubting XRP. There's no doubt. I actually feel pretty certain in my XRP thesis right now. My XRP thesis has changed. Do I doubt going to $50 this bull run? Yeah, I doubt that. Do I doubt XRP going to $10 this bull run? No, not really. The top side of where I think we end up. Do I rule out 20? No. Do I rule out 30? No. Do I rule out 50? No, I don't rule out anything. Do I rule out 10,000? The only reason why I doubt 10,000 is because I believe that we get a currency reset before then. A $10,000 XRP means that we're buying $100 loaves of bread. It is okay. The garbage man can take out Gensler and fire him. That was too easy of a setup, man. They're tossing Trump's layup at this time. And see, this is the thing. I don't, obviously I'm not trying to cover politics really too in depth, but the comments that I have been making is just, to me, it's just, let's be honest. There's two campaigns that are being ran, and one of them is the worst that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Not even close. It's just not even close. It's the worst campaign I have seen in my young 30 years. Maybe you guys have seen a worse campaign. I haven't. This campaign is the worst campaign I've ever seen. Now, maybe you guys know which campaign I'm talking about. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you agree. Whatever you do, just make sure you smack it. Smack it for me. There's another campaign that's just being handed layups, and they're dunking it every single time. They're being handed alley-oops, and they are flushing it down every single time. One campaign does 6 minutes, at most 20 minutes. Another campaign goes for 3 hours and then flies and does another rally for another hour. And that was after the other appearance that they did in the first part of the day. Now, I'm not saying that that campaign is the best campaign I've ever seen. I just don't think they even really have that much competition. What we're up against isn't, well, that's where I'll cut off my commentary for tonight on that topic. And I will retreat back to my safe space. Smack the like button. That's good. If you smack the thumbs down, that's okay too. Just give me something. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, they did get Beyonce. It's unfortunate that they couldn't get her to perform even one song. That would have been pretty lit. They got Beyonce. They got Eminem. Oh, Lizzo. I forgot about Lizzo. Is that a meme token? Is that the ticker? Lizzo? Don't go launch that token. Don't do it. It was a joke. I don't know how well that might actually land. I don't know. Like I said, what memes are is tokenizing attention and stupidity. And if you take a look around, we got a whole hell of a lot of that. So have fun. Who else did I miss? We got the Migos. I saw Quavo. I don't know what the heck he was wearing, but hey, to each their own. These people are crazy. Who else? They've also brought some big hitters through. Oh, Meg the Stallion. That was the performance that we got. That's how we win the president. Yep. Working our way to the White House. Welcome to 2024 election cycle. I'm saying too much. I'm going to get myself in trouble. I better wrap this one up. I appreciate everybody for stopping by here tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure. We're having fun. We're staying safe. We're staying liquid and preparing for what they're bringing our way. An incredible opportunity. I appreciate all of you guys for being here with me on the way out. Like I said, please, can you help me out? Just give me something. If you're new here, make sure you have subscribed, hit that notification bell. We'll be back tomorrow. More content, more updates. Appreciate all of your support, and we will see you in the next one. God bless you all. Thank you so much.